Is it my slide is visible, sir?
Yes, sir, your slide is visible, very much visible.
Good evening. Welcome all. Myself, Nituri Naresh Kumar, working here as a scientist team coordinator for the Indian Biomedical Skill Consortium, Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone. It's a medical device industrial park for the manufacturing of the medical equipments, MDZ. It's a campus of around 270 acres. And we have the reputed organizations like Levitron, TransAsia, and Malware Diagnostics, and etc. And for the AMTZ, we need a manpower in the biomedical engineers are required. So it's created a one program. It's called a IBSC, Indian Biomedical Skill Consortium. The founder members are AMDZ and Association of Indian Medical Device Manufacturers, IMED, and the third founder member is the Quality Council of India. The programs, the IBSC programs are accredited by the Ministry of the Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. We have we have the 5 programs are there. These programs are certificate in biomedical engineering, certificate in biomedical maintenance, certificate in biomedical production engineering, and certificate in biomedical quality assurance. And the 5th program is the certificate in biomedical project management. Till date, the 3 programs are already started, and the other 2 programs like certificate in biomedical maintenance and certificate in biomedical production engineering will soon will start these 2 programs also. In these programs, first program, certificate in biomedical engineering, we will offer a hands-on training, on-campus training program for the recent graduates or unemployed biomedical engineers on the hands-on training on medical equipments. It covers the topics like critical care equipments, ventilators, defibrillator, patient monitor, etc., and laboratory equipments as well as the radiological equipments concepts. This is a program including the site visit to our manufacturing facilities where the oxygen concentrators, ventilators are manufacturing. The candidates will see the real experience how the equipment are manufacturing at the site. And the other programs are upskilling programs. We have the programs the programs are certificate in biomedical quality assurance, and the other program is a certificate in biomedical project management. These 2 programs, the target audience are for those who are already working in the biomedical domain. To upgrade their skills to the higher levels, they can enroll to these programs. In the quality assurance program, it will be helpful to the candidates to understand the concepts on medical device regulations and the quality assurance, quality control concepts. In the project management, it will be helpful to the candidates to upgrade their management skills so that the biomedical engineers can go to the next levels, higher levels. We have the other training programs are there. These programs are supported by the Department of Biotechnology. We established the Skill Vignan Center. It's supported by the Department of Biotechnology, so supporting the 3 programs. The programs are technician training program. Its duration is a 3 months duration. The objective is to give the training to the unemployed or recent graduates on the hands-on training on medical equipments. The other 2 programs are faculty development programs and the entrepreneurship training program. This is fully supported. Stipend will be provided to the technician training programs as well as to the entrepreneurship training program. We already completed the batch 1 of the technician training program, and currently the batch 2 training program is started this Monday. And it will be 3 months duration. And the entrepreneurship and faculty development programs, very soon we will advertise the program details. And we also conduct the training programs. Like for example, currently the oxygen concentrator is required. So we designed the training program. It's a 2 days training program at 12 hours duration. And also we identify the need for the X-ray service engineers as well as to the MedTech.
Nareshi, excuse me. Could you turn on the presentation mode? It's in half screen.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Is it okay? Hello.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we have the programs like a MedTech logistics. Today, in this session, in this webinar session, the subject matter experts will give the more insights about this program. And these are the other things like we started the webinar sessions recently. The last week only we conducted one webinar session. Today is the second webinar session. The next session is planned in the 25th September. So please visit to the IBSC website and stay tuned on our programs and the webinar sessions. These programs, the certifications, the training programs, webinar sessions are all planned for the biomedical engineers to empower them to go to the next higher levels for those who are unemployed, to give the employment opportunity, skilled training and then employment opportunities for those who are already working to upgrade their skills. So these are the two programs, webinar sessions are there, the future program on the management skills required for the biomedical engineers. Thank you so much. This is about the IBSC. Any clarifications are there, please contact me. And then yeah. Please contact me for any clarifications about the program duration, program registration process, fee structure, the career prospects, and about the programs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And now I invite the speaker, Praveen, and the other panelist is there, Alpana Chaudhary from the My Gurukul Logistics. They are our training partner. We designed the one program that is called MedTech Logistics. In our biomedical field, we have the many job categories are there. Engineers working in the hospitals, they are working in the companies like a sales engineer, service engineers, and R&D manufacturing. There are many job categories are there. But our biomedical engineers not that much explored in the few areas, like for example, a IVD industry. In the IVD industry, there is no biomedical engineers. Most of them are from the other domains. And even there is a one new area it is there that is called supply chain and the logistics. As the medical device industry is growing, there is a need for the large number of the professionals in this domain in the medtech logistics. So I invite the speakers to share more insights about this area so that our biomedical engineers will helpful and grab their opportunities in this domain. Thank you, speaker. Praveen sir, over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. It is my pleasure to be a part of this platform, and I would request Madam Alpana to start maybe by introducing the team and what she's doing.
Praveen, you can start. We'll do the My Logistics Gurukul. We'll talk about MSG later after your presentation is over.
Sure, ma'am. Look
Over
forward
to
to it.
you.
Yeah,
And
sure. So I hope the presentation is visible to all of us who all are there. I mean, 23 attendees are there along with 4 of us. All of you are able to see this presentation. Which,
No, please share it once again.
yeah. Now, is it visible?
Loading. Yes.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, looks fine. Most of you, I understood that most of you are from the healthcare background or medtech background, people, those who are engineers, but we come from a different vertical or a different part of the business, that is logistics. So I'll try and explain you what logistics is. So I'll take you through different facets of logistics, what we actually do in logistics, what are the opportunities in logistics. Along with that, I'll try and connect these two important verticals like healthcare or medtech with logistics, so that you can really understand the importance of doing this kind of program, and why logistics is so important in healthcare system or medtech system in today's world. So we'll try and understand that. Your questions are all important for us. You can park your questions maybe at the right place. Nareshji, where to park these questions? Can they speak during the call or?
During the call itself.
Okay, so they may raise their hands and then we can take their questions. So
The
wherever,
candidates need to type the question in the chat box.
sure.
the YouTube also in the comment box, and then once the presentation is completed, I will read all the questions.
So once we are done with the presentation, we will take the questions. And
Yes.
so whatever you have as queries, questions, or informations you need about any connectivity between MedTech and logistics, or specifically about logistics, we'll try and answer those questions to best of our knowledge. So I'll try with the most important thing. I mean, what is actually logistics? So what do we do in logistics? So logistics has become part of everyone's life now. Everyone is aware what Amazon is doing, what Flipkart is doing, what all the big delivery companies are doing. And during the COVID times, we realized the importance of logistics. So what do you understand by logistics? So logistics simply means moving something from the place of manufacturing to the place of consumption. So this may include a lot of warehouses. This may include a lot of points where you temporarily store your goods, where you keep your goods available for the right kind of customers, and till the time you get the right customers. So that's very, very important. So it includes everything which happens from the point of manufacturing to the point of consumption. So we try and make the goods available for the consumer from the place of manufacturing. So whatever steps you can think of during the whole process is part of logistics. So logistics is very, very broad term, very, very broad term. And sometimes people are confused between the two terms called logistics and supply chain. So supply chain includes the planning part also. So it's a broader term. So don't feel confused or don't get confused between these two terms. Supply chain is a bigger terminology which includes planning of the goods also. So somebody like I'm the manufacturer, I'm manufacturing something and you are the customer. So I'm manufacturing something and delivering it to you. The whole process is logistics. But when I'm planning to manufacture something and procuring the material from other people and includes, I'm including a lot of processes like procurement, like, onboarding a particular supplier or negotiation with the supplier. So that is part of supply chain. So you can always say that logistics is a subset of supply chain management, SCM. And SCM is a bigger term. Logistics is a smaller term. But the most critical part, which is linked to our industry, logistics industry, is basically happening in the whole process from the place of manufacturing to the place of consumption. So I hope this is clear to you and we can move forward. So if you really see what is basically logistics, so few things are visible to you and few things are not. So something which is very, very visible to all of us is transportation. So you see an Amazon vehicle coming to your place, then going to the next store, then maybe delivering it to some other people. You must be seeing a lot of big trucks moving for companies like Flipkart, Amazon, quite easily visible nowadays. And you have other companies like your Big Basket, you have eBay, all these companies. So that transportation, yes, it's the visible part, and it is quite noticed by most of us in today's world, because when we move out, we see the transportation of goods happening from one place to another, and we can easily, now I think a 5-year-old kid or maybe 10-year-old kid can easily pick that. That's basically transportation of some goods from one place to another. So this is the most crucial part, because we, as I told you, it's moving the goods from the place of manufacturing to place of consumption. So you need to transport it. Yes, that's visible. That has the substantial part of the complete logistics. So transportation is the most important and the most significant work we do in the logistics industry. Apart from that, one more thing nowadays visible to all of us is warehouse and storage of the goods. So as I told you, a car is getting manufactured in Western India, coming to your place in Northern India. I live in Northern India, so that is why I'm saying it. So you can correlate this with your location. So let's say something is getting manufactured at place A, and then you are residing in place B. That particular thing is getting transported. But when a car is getting manufactured in the plant, you are not the consumer, or you are not defining it for yourself that I'll be buying the car which is getting manufactured at 2 p.m. today. So you need to store that particular car. So whatever we are manufacturing, we need to store it someplace, so that the right buyer can come and the sales can happen or the delivery can happen. So during that period wherein the consumer is not defined for a particular product, or maybe it is not getting delivered to the consumer, it is getting stored. It is getting stored in some warehouses, or you may call it godowns, or maybe a mother warehouse. Sometimes you get the term like delivery locations, or your regional warehouse. So these warehouses actually act as a storage points. So wherever I'm storing the goods, I'm calling that place warehouse. For you, it's a warehouse, but for me, since I'm in the business, I give a lot of respect to that kind of that facility, because it has got a lot of other technicalities apart from storing the goods. So whatever you are seeing, which is being staked on these rakes, uh, takes a lot of efforts and a lot of science goes behind it. So whatever we study in molecular biology or the medical biology, by the way, I also come from medical background. I mean, not really MBBS, but I've done my BSc, so I'm kind of well versed with all these terms. So if you really see, a lot of science goes behind it. The science is the way you store it. So it's not that easy, you know. If you give me a parcel and if you give it to me to deliver it to some other place, if you're the manufacturer, you're giving it for some consumer of yours or customer of yours, I cannot store it, as the way you are giving it to me. I need to apply some logic. So these analogies, formulas are being designed to maintain these warehouses so that right goods come at the right time, received at the right time, and goes to the right customer at the right time again. So delivering it at the right time, it is very, very important for me. To make it happen, to make it right, and to keep it right all the time, I need to put those formulas. I need to put that science behind. I need to put those logics behind. So sometimes you hear these terms, quite commonly heard nowadays. First in, first out, last in, first out, or last in, last out, or maybe last in, first out. You must be quite well versed nowadays with a term called inventory management. So it is somehow linked with warehousing. So these LIFO or FIFO, the first in, first out, or the last in, first out, is basically the way you manage your inventory. So whatever stored goods you are seeing in the picture number 4, warehousing and storage of goods, is basically being managed scientifically, I mean, with some logics, with some formulas, and we call that those formulas and the activities we do basis those formulas as inventory management, So warehouse you're seeing, wherever we are storing the goods, we're calling it warehouse, but with the science with which we manage these warehouses, we call it inventory management. So there are logics, there is a science, there is technical KPI or the key performance indicators given by my customer that you need to, send the last in material first, and then you need to check the manufacturing date all the time whenever you are moving the goods out. Let's say I have 10 items of the same company and getting manufactured in different 10 dates or on different 10 dates. Like first is getting manufactured on 16th of September, the second one on 17th, and so on. So the last one I received was manufactured on 26th of September, and this has got a shelf life of 1 month only. So the customer has given me a requirement that, Praveen, whenever you are receiving the order, please do check the manufacturing date. And please ship out the one you received with the oldest manufacturing date. So I'll be shipping out as soon as I'll receive the order. The sign says, or the inventory management principle or the rule which is being laid down by the customer, I need to ship out the one which was manufactured on 16th of September. I'm sorry. So that is the logic. So that way you'll get multiple kind of requirements from the client side. I need to follow those requirements which are defined by the customers, and these are very, very commonly heard, when it comes to managing healthcare equipments or medicines, pharma for that matter. So we are technically, generally linking it with the manufacturing date. We are linking it with the batch date. We are linking it with maybe the kind of packaging. We are linking it with the kind of requirements defined by the customer. So the first one, transportation, quite easily visible to all of us. Warehousing now again, very, very visible to all of us. Inventory management is the science behind managing these warehouses. And planning and coordination is basically, coordinating everything. I mean, putting these three things together and making it happen. So what actually comes under planning and coordination of resources? So you have such a big warehouse to manage. You have multiple requirements defined as under inventory management principles or guidelines given by your customer. You need to apply a lot of logics, a lot of principles, and a lot of brainstorming need to be done in order to put the right resource at the right place. If the customer says there can be a requirement in your industry for that matter, healthcare, I have seen customers wherein they are giving me the request that, you might have a situation wherein I need to operate somebody with a knee injury. I need to operate that person 12 in the night. So do keep that warehouse open for me at midnight also. So I need to listen to him because he's my customer. And trust me, in this industry, customer gets the first priority. That's very, very important. So we listen to our customer. But yes, of course, everything comes with a cost. So I used to keep a person during the night also. I used to keep people which are responsible for transportation during the night also. I used to keep the truck operators for night also. And I used to always say them that, you need to make a vehicle, you need to make a person, you need to make a warehouse available for me in case of urgencies. So that's what goes behind planning and coordination of resources. So it is not as simple as like, you're doing a 9 to 6 job. Logistics is not at all defined. I mean, you can get a customer in the night also. For a hospital, the patient who's coming, I'm sorry, with the knee injury, but he's finally a customer. He needs to be treated because the earning source for a hospital is this. Somebody needs a blood bag, and the blood has to be delivered. So that has to be delivered. I mean, there's no second thought about it. So we need to plan and coordinate our resources that ways. So this is about the four important things because, as I told you, it is moving of goods from one place to another. So you need to think of the wheels first. So the transportation is there. Then you need to think of storing it somewhere because your customers won't be there all the time. And you need to reach to the customer, means you need to reach as close as possible to your customer so that the delivery can be done as per his requirement. So you need to store it somewhere. In order to store it, you need to apply some logics, put some formulas in. So that is inventory management for you. And putting all these things together and making it happen as per the customer's requirement is basically planning and coordination of resources. So I hope everything is clear. I'm moving on to the next slide. And you can put your questions in the chat box, and then we can take the questions towards the end. So as I told you, it's very, very simple. We are moving the goods. We are responsible for moving the goods from the place of manufacturing to the place of consumption. And then we are storing the goods. And then comes the distribution. So distribution is basically, as I told you, you're manufacturing something. I'll just try if I can write something here. I can. So let's say there's a place called A, which is a place of manufacturing. Then you will have deliveries to multiple cities. And C is your customer, B is the warehouse. So I need to go as close to, means very, very close to C in order to deliver the goods as per his choice of timelines in terms of the delivery. So the distribution also becomes very, very important. I'm sorry for these. It is gone finally. Thank you. So as I told you, movement of goods, very, very important. You're storing it. We are not talking about something which is non-tangible here. So we are talking about something which is visible to us. So we are moving the goods, that is visible. Storage of the goods, that is also visible. When it comes to distribution, and nowadays distribution has become very, very important, because earlier what we used to do was, we are manufacturing, we are simply sending it to the dealers, and then thank you very much, it is getting delivered, it is dealers' responsibility to deliver. But nowadays what we are doing, we are planning it more aggressively. When I say planning it more aggressively, that simply means we are trying to say which one out of all my dealers, or who's the one who's ordering maximum products. If somebody in Delhi, New Delhi, is ordering most of the orders, or he's ordering most of the products, then I'll try and keep one warehouse very, very close to him, so that I can save on the cost, because my factory is 2,000 kilometers from Delhi. So I'll keep a small warehouse there and then do the distribution of the goods. So distribution is no different, but nowadays, like recently, you can say last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, with the emergence of e-commerce, distribution uh, has arrived as a new word. Though it's part of transportation only, but it has taken a different shape, because distribution can be, one way of distributing is, okay, Praveen, you take out one truck, 7 in the morning, and then deliver everything, whatever is loaded on that truck. So that's called milk run. So you're moving one truck, you're delivering to whosoever is falling on the route. You have a predefined route, and then that is called a milk run. Uh, the second way of distribution is, let's say, hospital supplies. Okay, a patient is there, blood is required. Okay, you deliver it as and when it comes. Okay, so I'll keep a small blood bank or a storage place or the vaccine place close to the hospital, so that I can stay alert. Instead of buying it from, or instead of ordering it from 2,000 kilometers away, I can supply it from the nearest location, near to the hospital. So that has become the distribution channel, or the distribution warehouse for me, or a distribution centers for me. So this is a new word. It's a subset of transportation only. It's equal to transportation only, but it has got a uh, defined a very, very precise delivery requirements are there. So this is what we cover actually in logistics. Earlier we used to call it movement of goods and storage of goods, but now distribution is being added to see the last mile delivery requirements, to cater to last mile delivery requirements of the customer. Yeah, so we'll talk about logistics and its significance. What actually fascinated me in this whole trade is this particular picture. You're staying very, very close to these big equipments, or big carriers, or big aeroplanes, big ships. So that, trust me, that is very, very fascinating. Coming from a science background, getting into this industry and sticking to this for 19 years, uh, this is what I love about this trade. So you get close to all kind of industries, including healthcare. So coming from healthcare background, then working in this trade, I've worked for a lot of pharma customers, a lot of MedTech companies, and the only advantage, the biggest advantage rather, is you can understand the technicalities of a customer. Somebody says centrifugal machine, I'm able to connect. Somebody says something like blood or a tissue cannot be cannot be X-rayed. So I know the technical reason behind it, so that I can explain it to my operation people accordingly, and we move the goods accordingly. So that's the advantage. If you are from healthcare background and if you try to get into logistics, you can easily cater to the requirements of healthcare customers. So this is quite common, and I hope everyone is aware of this. But still, I just want to take you there again. Again, I'm coming up with 4 pictures, I hope. Yes. So important for all the sectors of economy. Logistics is very, very important, as I told you. I mean, why it is important? A farmer is there. He's growing crops. He's coming up with good yield of wheat or maybe rice. But there'll be no advantage. I mean, he'll not be able to earn anything out of it because he cannot move it from one place to another. Moving it will take transportation, and if it is transportation, it falls under logistics. So movement of everything is very, very important. Second, e-commerce. By the way, just to give you an example, I mean, you need to thank your mothers or whosoever is managing grocery at your home. I mean, kitchen is the best place to give you an example of logistics. Kitchen, and I would like to appreciate the lady in the frame. I mean, Alpna ma'am also. I think she's also managing logistics. You need to go back, thank your mother for managing it so well. We put a lot of science, we put a lot of formulas. Praveen talked about a lot of these fascinating words. But trust me, she's the one who's managing it so well for you. Whenever something is going down in terms of your or maybe it is rice, or maybe wheat, or maybe flour, maybe some spices going down in terms of her level of inventory management. She's calling you, she's telling the dad, she's going out in the market, she's buying that product and storing it again. So that's the best example. And I never forget to give thank you to all the mothers when I come to this page. That's very, very important. So coming back to the topic, agriculture cannot happen without, I mean, it can happen, but the transportation is very, very important. And that's how it is linked to economy. If I'm growing the crops, if I'm growing rice, if I'm growing maize, or whatever you are able to see in this picture, if I'm not selling, I'll not be able to earn anything out of it. And gone are those days when we used to have barter system. I can give my maize to you and you can give me rice. Gone are those days. Now everything is linked to the money you get. Money can be earned if you sell this product. If you're selling it to your local market, if I'm growing it here, if I want to sell it to people, neighbors, how much I can sell? 2 kgs, 5 kgs, 100 kgs, 1,000 kgs. But let's say, what if I'm growing 10,000 kgs? What if I'm growing 100,000 kgs? I need to search for a bigger market. In order to go to the market, I need to have wheels, rolling so that I can move the stuff. I can do transportation. So when I do transportation, I fall under logistics. So logistics is important for agriculture also. You'll be surprised to know, India is one of the biggest producer of rice. I think Bangladesh has taken our first position. And Africa is one of the biggest consumer, and Middle East also one of the biggest consumer for us in terms of the rice. So we export good amount of rice from. Okay. So coming to the second one, the e-commerce. As you know, you have multiple buyers and multiple suppliers, and number of buyers are far more. I mean, if I talk about Indian zip codes or postcodes, I'm not well versed with any other country like the way I am with India. So India has got some, I think around 100,000 postcodes, at least serviceable postcodes, or small cities, towns where these buyers are actually on mobile, getting onto the websites of Amazon or other companies, and then they are ordering the stuff. Now see, can you really do it without logistics? You cannot. Simply, it's not possible. The latest example, the COVID test kit, which can be utilized by you guys sitting at home, that is also getting manufactured at some place, and then you can order it. So either you're bringing it during the older version, you used to bring it through the postal services. Now you have the courier companies. So everything is logistics. Even those postal services was logistics. And today's big companies like your THL, FedEx, UPS, these are all logistics only. And that is possible. E-commerce is possible just because of logistics. If logistics is not there, internet cannot move your goods from one place to another. Okay, retail, coming up with these brands. I mean, there was a time when people used to be dependent on the local, people, those who were stitching the clothes, or the world is becoming I think a global market, wherein we are all familiar with the global brands, and we all want to try these brands. So consider, let's say, a company like Urban Outfitter based out of US, or Forever 21 based out of US. You are now getting the same stuff here in India also. Same stuff everywhere. I mean, all the countries. You have Zara, you have your Inditex, you have all your Carltons available everywhere now. And that is happening because of logistics, because somebody is moving your goods closer to you, so that you can have the access. Or even if you're putting it, means putting your request on internet and requesting it from some other country, somebody is bringing that. So we, the people in logistics, are actually doing that. And retail is also not possible without logistics. If you really consider the bigger retail places. I mean, let's say if I want to run my small shop with small, units, or maybe small quantities of everything, I can also go out. I can purchase from the wholesalers. It can, serve you as a retailer. But at least for bigger brands, this is not possible. And if you take down the definition, you're transporting the goods from one place to another. Even if I'm running a small store, I'm going somewhere, I'm procuring it, then loading it in the truck, then bringing that truck to my shop, small shop, and then selling it. That is also logistics. That is also logistics. Then coming to manufacturing. So your Porsche is a Spanish brand, sorry, German brand, I hope. Your BMW or BMW is again German. Your Mercedes is German. Your General Motors is based out of US. Your Ford is based out of US. Your Range Rover is getting manufactured somewhere in Europe. But you have all these cars finally working here in India. So somebody is rolling them from the place of manufacturing and bringing them to India for you. That is basically logistics. So the idea is, even if you are manufacturing in the highest number of cars, if you are not bringing them close to your buyers, okay, with the intent to sell them, you will not be able to make money. And if you will not make money, irrespective how deep your pockets are, you will not be manufacturing it for too long. So the idea is, for manufacturing also to sustain, logistics is very, very important. And same way, I would like to put it this way, is that for all the big brands to sustain, to get bigger markets, for all the manufacturing, for all e-commerce companies, producers, it is important to have logistics. Otherwise, they cannot expand. They cannot grow big in size. So we are the catalyst of the industry, or whatever industry you talk about. If I talk about the medicine, or the vaccine we are manufacturing, that is moving to the globe. I mean, all the people. It's just because of logistics. So we are the catalyst. You have the idea, you have the formulas, you have the money to manufacture it, but somebody need to give that money back to you. I mean, beyond your market. If I talk about India, beyond India, if I want to sell, it has to go out and the money has to come in. So that's how I can increase my capacity to manufacture it more. I can really rely on my logistics partner to get more orders from outside. So logistics is very, very important. In our daily lives, I think it is well-known fact for each other, means all of us for that matter. But still, I will just go through real quickly here. Uh, in today's world, if you see, we have increased dependency on e-commerce. We have increased dependency on e-commerce, most during COVID periods. If you really see, people, those who used to, like, I'll take my example. I mean, my father used to go out and shop for groceries or whatever. He was not so confident on these e-commerce platforms or, wherever. But now, during COVID period, he also realized, it is not safe to go out. It is, so it's not reliable, but let's try something. So he tried maybe Big Basket or Flipkart or Amazon for the first time during COVID period. And now those companies, um, you know, uh, those companies are able to give him the confidence that yes, these are reliable brands. The delivery happens. You get the same product. Everything is very, very same. Everything is very, very same. So there is a high dependency on e-commerce. It all started with eBay first, and then it was replicated by Amazon for book selling. And then the same model was developed in all the countries. Like we have in India, we have companies like Flipkart, Amazon. I'm sure most of the countries are having their own local e-commerce brands also. And trust me, this market is going super up uh, with exponential growth because people have started putting logics in, though you are paying for the delivery, but it is far more convenient to buy something online because if I go out, I need to take my car out. I need to spend on my fuel. I need to spend on my parking. I'll be wasting a lot of time. So instead of doing that, let's go on internet. Just log on to your favorite website. I mean, e-commerce platform. Order the same stuff from there, and then just sit at home, relax, enjoy your time on Netflix. And that's why we have given chances to companies like Netflix and other people to come in, and we are spending more time there. So you see, that way we are increasing dependency on our e-commerce thing, and that is giving advantage to your logistics. Uh, then there is a easier access to global markets. So if you really see, internet actually gave us the global access. There was a time when I used to, when I started my career some 18, 19 years back in the same trade, people used to travel to multiple countries and they used to participate in exhibitions and they used to explore the possibility of searching a buyer for their product. Now, it is very much possible through internet. Internet actually gave us the opportunity. First, email came in. That was not real time. I need to wait for the other person to respond. Then came in your Facebook, your Orkut, and then came in the instant messaging. Then WhatsApp came in. I mean, WhatsApp actually made it super easy for people. Now I can see who's online. I can show him the product. Now the Skype also came during this period only, prior to WhatsApp, of course. Now it's more convenient to explore, buyers outside the world. If you explore, I'm sorry, if you really go to buyers outside your own country, there is a relatively fair chance that you'll get more profit out of that, as long as you're going into a new market. So let's say if I'm manufacturing some, let's say, Indian ethnic wear, I'm supplying to Europe, I'm just fighting with competition. But let's say if I explore companies like Zambia, they're interested in buying Indian ethnic wear, that is absolutely a new market for me. Explore through internet. So the initial negotiation or discussion happened on internet. Now I can travel. And since the global access is there now with me, I can, instead of traveling frequently, I can frequently send messages, explore the buyers on platforms like Alibaba and all platforms. So So I will be needing a partner who is responsible and who will be responsible for moving my goods from one place to another. So that is logistics, and that's how in all the businesses you need logistics now. Very, very important. What it has done, since a lot of facets are there in terms of the requirements, the e-commerce is there, you have global buyers, global markets here. It has actually increased the customer's expectation. It has increased the customer's expectation from logistics as a service. So, there are new companies coming up with innovative ideas, and those who are giving you time definite, they are giving you day definite deliveries, they are giving you customized deliveries now. Just to give you an example, there was a time, let's say if I think of 2005, uh, yeah, around 2005 only, if you need to send some gift to your friend outside, and you just need to you need to just request for a delivery on that particular birth date or whatever day, it used to happen. But now I've seen services wherein people are delivering cakes at midnight also. They are saying deliver something at 3 o'clock. They are doing it. They're charging. So it and since people are expecting these services, there is a high demand of all these services or these specifications in the trade. So we are coming up with new technologies, new ideas. Then what it is doing, all in all, it is increasing the competition in the market, which will be beneficial for the customer. Which will be beneficial for the customer. So if you see, e-commerce has come. There is an aggressive sales strategy which is coming up for the normal retailer next door. So he needs to change his strategy, and they are changing their strategy. They are getting into membership. They are giving you some 10% discount, 20% discount. So the strategies are being changed. Everything is being turned so much uh, because of so many changes in the whole industry and the globalization and the internet and the possibility of logistics everywhere. And the logistics cost has come down drastically. Just to give you an example, there was a time, if you take out COVID time, there was a time in 2003-4, the per kg cost from India to US was 300 rupees a kilo. But before COVID, the same cost used to be 180, 190. So because of this competition, it has become very, very beneficial for the customers. Very, very, and it's possible now. You can buy something from US at a cheaper rate, and then getting into India and still keep it cheap as long as you are not commercially utilizing it. Otherwise, you'll have taxes and duties to be paid to government. So that's it. Then there is an improvisation in the technology also. So with coming up of e-commerce, with coming up of your internet, with the increased expectation from the customer and the market competition, I need to keep myself a little different from the other companies. How do I need to keep that? How will I do that? So the way is, let's improvise the technology on which you're working. So there was a time when I used to place an order. I need to sit at home and then wait for the courier person to come. Just give me 1 minute. Is it visible? Am I visible?
What's happened, Praveen?
I'm asking ma'am whether it's visible or not.
Yeah, it is visible, but we can't see you, but we can hear you.
But my camera is switched on somehow.
Oh, कुछ हो गया होगा. चलिए, you can continue.
Okay. So with the improved technology, now what I can do, There was a time when I used to place order for delivering something to my friend outside my place. I need to wait for something to come as a confirmation that it is getting delivered, not delivered, some issues with the address, or something else. But now, with coming up of internet, e-commerce, increasing expectations, there's a tough competition in the market. All the companies are innovatively exploring the new innovations they can add. And the way you get your delivery alerts, the pickup alerts, the shipment alerts is something which is quite fascinating, and it has become part of our life now. Because if somebody is not giving that update, we feel that either they are not reliable or they are not having any updates for us. So we kind of feel impatient about it. So that's basically the relevance of logistics in our daily lives. Yeah. So I think you all come from the medical background, and but still I can just define it what I understood about the medical technology. And if there is any addition you would like to do in terms of my understanding or definition of it, please, you're most welcome. So, what is medical technology? So, medical technology is basically, as people put it, medical technology can save life, improve health, and contribute towards sustainable healthcare. Through innovative devices, diagnostics, the industry delivers value to patients, healthcare professionals, and healthcare systems and society. So basically, that's medical technology. Medical technology basically is divided into four different. It's basically classified in different countries differently. But in India, we have four divisions, which I think we will be talking about the next few slides. Then there is a market size, and now if you see, India is well below, I think, first 10 countries. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think India's position is 11th, which is not that great. The reason being, we are more dependent on importing everything when it comes to medical technology. If you really remember the old movies wherein uh, a film actor needing some operations, the person has to go to US for some critical operations or critical parts to be imported from US or from Europe. Uh, the government would like to change that situation now. But yes, for good time, we were dependent on countries like US, Germany, Japan, UK, France, and quite recently on China also. Uh, your 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 X-ray machines, your scanning machines, your MRI machines used to be like used to come from the biggest two manufacturers like Philips and GE. So those were like United States based. Then you have coming in of China very lately. One of the interesting companies I know is Mindray. Mindray Technologies. They are manufacturing the X-ray equipments and the ultrasound equipments. So they are also supplying to us because a good amount. I mean, I hope 90% of our total requirement when it comes to medical technology, we are still dependent on uh, imports. Uh, if not imports, then these are US based companies or Chinese companies or German companies those are manufacturing this in India. Like companies like Becton Dickinson, though they are not Indian, but they are manufacturing in India. There was a company called Baxter. There is a company called Hollister. They are into blood bags. They are manufacturing in India the blood bags. Though there are Indian companies also, and I'll take full pride in terms of communicating this to you. The biggest syringe manufacturing country is India. I hope is India. If my figures are correct, Hindustan Syringe is the name of the company. They are doing it. So that's India's position, and that's the global market. US has got big names like companies like GE, Philips. You have Abbott. You have such big companies. And followed by this country, you have Germany, Japan, China, France, United Kingdom, then Italy. Two big names from the implant industry or implant healthcare requirement comes from US only. One is Zimmer and the other one is Stryker. They are also US based companies. So these are the 2017 numbers because 18 I think was not they were not able to publish because they were so busy managing 19 and 20 for that matter, the COVID thing, and they have given the expectation in terms of the 22, so you are able to see the market size. So if you talk about India, why are we taking so much of interest in MedTech or connecting it with logistics? Call you guys. We are trying to link few things together, and we are emphasizing on logistics because there is a scope. And now I'll try and connect this within the next 1 or 2 slides. In India, uh, you know, uh, we are among the top 20 markets for medical devices worldwide. India's medical device market stood around 11 billion in 2020, and it is expected to reach 65. So you see a 6 times growth in next 4 years, and we are having just 3 years left now. And India is planning a lot of manufacturing. India is planning exports also, and the market size, as you see, we are operating, I think, maximum number of patients globally after US. We are ranked 2. A lot of people are still dependent on our medical services when it comes to, Asian countries. Your people come from Middle East also. People come from Africa also to us, and they take medical help here. The medical device sector in India comprises of large multinationals. So the names I gave you, Becton Dickinson, you have Baxter, you have Philips, you have GE, you have Polyester, you have Mindray, and small mid-sized companies. So we are not having small companies. We are not having companies, those who are providing raw material for healthcare industry. We are still dependent on Taiwan of the world. We are dependent on China of the world. We are dependent on Americas. We are dependent on Germany. But the government is planning to change the scenario. Government is putting a lot of money efforts. Now, positive approach and development plan, and that is the government of India has commenced various initiatives to strengthen the medical devices sector, with emphasis on research and development and 100% FDI on medical device to boost the market. So FDI, which was like, I think 51 or 49% earlier, is now gone to 100%. 100%. So somebody from Germany would like to set up a plant in India, you're most welcome. You can put 100% ownership, 100% your money, and you can start manufacturing. But the condition is you need to manufacture it in India. From April 2000 to March 2021, FDI inflow in the medical and surgical appliances sector stood at 2.19 billion. This is the highest ever recorded number for the money which is coming in from outside for setting up something in medical technology. So that is why we are talking, and that is why we have you guys here. I mean, people from medical background, healthcare background, those who want to understand the criticality of logistics. And trust me, this is possible because of logistics. Somebody setting up a plant, putting 2.19 billion, you need a support system. As I told you, for everything, logistics is the catalyst. Logistics is the catalyst. So we'll talk about that also. India's market size right now, it's 77539 crores in Indian rupees, of course. 2020 looks very, very small. Looks very, very small, but the numbers will surely change after 2024, maybe by 2025. These are the facts and the plans. Few things already happened and few things still in pipeline. India government plan, and these are happening for the first time. Trust me, I've taken the data from the very valid sources, and we have been serving to customers. We have been talking to customers in pharma, in medical technology industry, and trust me, they are seeing the changes. And we see a very big boom in this market. Healthcare, as we logistics people, we always call it evergreen sector. So you'll not have recession there. I mean, I can be jobless, but I cannot stop myself from going to a doctor if I'm ill, right? So this is an evergreen industry for somebody in logistics. So you may have recessions in Maruti, you may have recession in BMW or Porsche, but you will not have recession in medical field. And that's for sure. That's for sure. So facts and plans. India government plan to start manufacturing for medical technology devices at MD Park in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. So this is basically a special economic zone which is being created for manufacturing of medical technology devices. Grant of 100 crores for each state. So each state has got some grant in terms of researching, in terms of funding people, in terms of exploring the possibilities of new policies, and the government, central government is planning to support them. Plans to feed more money. This is the plans and developments. This is what I talked about. 100% FDI is allowed. So healthcare has become, I think, the first sector wherein 100% foreign direct investment is allowed from outside. So you'll see a lot of companies setting up their base. I've met at least 2, 3 in the last 1 year, and there are a good number of people, those who are, checking the possibilities of coming to India. All the 4 categories. So these are the categories I was about to talk 2 slides back: equipments, instruments, consumables, and implants. So instruments, we all know the instrument we use during the medical help we give to customers, or equipments are basically your the supplies or the consumables are basically you have reagents, you have testing reagents, as we call it. Something which is to be added in order to process a test, that is basically called a consumable. Then you have implants. Implants are basically the external artificial part you manufacture in order to replace something which is not working for you in your body. So can be a knee implant, or can be a hip implant, or maybe a shoulder implant. So these 4 categories, the government is going ahead with their plans for all the 4. So there is no partiality in terms of any particular category. Formation of National Medical Device Promotion Council. So this is the first ever thing. So we were focusing on agri products. We were focusing on garment export. This for the first time somebody is thinking of putting a promotion council for medical devices. The industry, as of now, rely on 80% of the import from US, Germany, and China. So these countries are giving us the 80% import out of the 90% import I talked about. The India government planning to fund this industry with the intent to start exports. So the idea behind this is India should be able to cater to its own requirement, and beyond this, we will export also. So the idea is to export, because there are a lot of countries those who are not able to buy it from US because US products are expensive. You will have a lot of duties. You'll spend a lot of money in logistics also. So they are planning to ship out, or maybe since we will have the volume advantage because we have a lot of means good amount of people here. The population is big. The requirements are big. The kind of heart surgeries we perform is highest in the world. The kind of surgeries we do are the highest among the world, or the full community. So we will have the highest requirement. And if we develop something basis the volume requirement we have in India, we will surely be able to price it so well that people can buy from us. At least people in Africa, people in Middle East, people in Asia can buy from us. It's all volume, as shown by China. Government has also linked few schemes to promote exports. So it's basically your promotion linked incentive or performance linked incentive. So the more you'll export, you'll get more incentive from India government. So it is basically to promote export from India. Local demand has gone up as there is an increased focus on health infra and facilities. So you are seeing a lot of hospitals coming up. You are seeing the rural healthcare system is improvising. Now there are healthcare facilities in all the villages, mandatory. Uh, and I've seen, if you really go to the rural part of India now, the facilities are improving. I'll not say changed, but yes, improving. There are tests available for which we used to travel to put 60, 70, 100 kilometers. Now those tests are available in close vicinities. Uh, and the medicines are available in close vicinities rather than you traveling to distances. Market size, we talked about expected growth by 35% to make it touch 35 to 450 crores by 2025. 35% is highest. I mean, though it looks very surprising, but I have not seen personally. I've not seen any industry reporting a double-digit growth. After 10, 12. I mean, it's 35%, exorbitantly high, but if you're really able to do something like this, it'll be very, very good for the government. So export is a basic idea. Along with that, satisfying our own Indian requirement. Then government is aiming at an ambitious export target of 70,490 crores. So that's the ambitious target because apart from syringe, and the pharma, which is not the part of medical technology, is highest. But beyond this, our equipments are not going anywhere. Our consumables, we don't do consumables so much. Our implants, not there. Instruments, again, not so much relied on outside India, of course. So if they are able to do something like this, it'll be a very, very big thing. So this is basically the reason why we all are talking. We all are trying to understand what will be the impact of logistics. Because if government is putting such a high target, which is almost zero right now, you will be needing logistics companies to support it. If you are planning to manufacture and grow into a market size of 352,750 crores, you'll be needing a lot of raw material which is to come from outside. So you need logistics people. You need somebody who understands logistics. Why it's complicated? Why it is complicated? I mean, the logistics for healthcare in India, because you see the scattered industry base. I mean, you have somebody in Haryana, which is like up north. You have something in Delhi, which is again north. And then you have manufacturers in Tamil Nadu, which is down south, a good distance of 2,000 kilometers. Then you have Maharashtra, shown in orange, which is again 1,500 kilometers plus distance. Then you have Karnataka, some 2,000 again. Then you have Gujarat, again 1,300 plus kilometers from northern part of India. And like if I talk about Calcutta, the eastern part, it'll be good 2,000 kilometers. So how will you move the goods? The manufacturing is happening towards the border of India and little bit towards north of India. So how will you move the goods from one place to another? It is not that simple. I mean, you get an Amazon parcel and you're delivering it. Trust me, it is not that simple. I mean, somebody from a reputed hospital calls me up and he says, I need a knee replacement, size so and so, time so and so. Please ensure you deliver it. When he asks for that requirement, I cannot say that it's raining outside. It's very hot outside and it's dark outside. I cannot say that. I need to design a solution in a way that I satisfy his requirement. Because the job here is not to deliver a parcel. The job here is to save somebody's life, somebody's knee, somebody's head, somebody's neck, somebody's shoulder, or somebody needs blood, so his life. So that's the basic idea. I mean, that's why logistics is very, very crucial. Very, very crucial. Why you actually focus on MedTech logistics only. I mean, you can talk about automotive, you can talk about technology, you can talk about the silicon side of the business. I mean, computer, technology, software. But why are you talking about medical technology? I hope I gave you enough supporting, which is coming from people, those who are in the execution part of India. They manage execution when it comes to various policies and the plans for India. So what I actually see along with those reasons, what I see is as reasons are listed as huge market demand size. So India, because of the big population, as I told you, highest surgeries we do in India, highest heart operations, heart surgeries we do in India. So it's a huge market, huge demand is there. And as I told you, the majority of this demand is being satisfied by European or US players, which can be replaced, easily, Trust me. It's just a matter of knowing know-how of the manufacturing of these products, and you are done. You're done. You will be needing support because the investment is huge. But yes, as long as the investment is coming from the government and you have the ability and the capability of doing it, let's do it. I mean, there will be people those who will be doing it. So there'll be an increased demand of people in logistics. There'll be an increased demand of logistics service providers. So the biggest reason is huge market demand and the size of the market. It will be growing for sure. People are getting more aware. Yes, one more fact is people are getting more aware of the tests, the medical health, or the health for that matter. Gone are those days when I used to feel the pain and suffer in the pain, and then I used to go to the office, and then that's it. Now, the moment I feel pain somewhere, I try and go to Google and try and search, what could be the reason. If I feel the reason can be, substantially important, I just consult with my doctor. When I consult with my doctor, he asked me to get few things done. I mean, X-rays, your ultrasounds, your MRIs, your CT scans. So we are going. I mean, if you really think of the COVID period, I mean, still people used to be so aware in India, The first thing they used to do was the moment they used to cough because of the linked circumstances of COVID, they used to go to the MRI, labs, and they used to ask for an MRI or X-ray. So that was never the situation with India. Trust me, that was never the situation with India. Now it has become very, very common. Okay. Then the initiatives we talked about. Then customized requirements are there in this trade. I mean, it is not the same. It is not the standard. I mean, your knee cannot fit into my knee, or my knee cannot fit into your knee. I mean, there is a size difference. So just to give you an example, I used to serve to a customer called Striker. They were into knee replacement, and whenever there used to be an operation, there used to be a demand from the hospital. We used to supply to that hospital, but they always used to ask for one plus size and one minus size along with the specific size the doctor used to give to me. And I always used to surprisingly ask him, boss, why we need to deliver 3 parts? I mean, why we need to take 3 parts to the delivery location if we need to put only one? But when I got to know the reason of it, I realized, though you're judging it basis the X-rays, MRI, but it is not fitting in all the time in the right way. The tissues are different. I mean, the bones are different. The geography of the bones are different. I'm sorry, I'm calling it geography. The anatomy of the bones are different. That's the right word. So there is a customized requirement. The blood, you can store blood, but you need to put that formula that, what unit, what should be the blood group, what should be the RH factor in the blood, and how much quantity is being demanded. So basis that you can give. You cannot simply store blood for transfusion at one place without actually coding it with right A's or the B's or the O's of the groups. So that's the unique thing about this industry. That's the unique thing about this industry. I mean, the same scalpel cannot be used everywhere. Same forceps cannot be used. Forceps can be of multiple types. For performing different types of tests, you need different types of reagents. So that's how it is. Then there's a space of innovations, space for innovation. Sorry. I mean, a lot of technological advancements are heard about. There are a lot of technology things which are coming up. A lot of innovation possibilities are there. I was just seeing a video today. Now it is possible to detect lung cancer 1 year in advance before it actually gives you any signs. Your body gives the sign of lung cancer. It is possible because of AI, because of internet, because of the big data which is available now. So a lot of companies are emphasizing on this data. It's just a matter of reading it in the right way, calculating it basis, different logics. Yes, we all might say that different bodies will have different expectations. I mean, different reactions to different things. But yes, there's always a scope of innovation in this trade. I mean, this industry. Okay, so what I want to talk about, and this will be the most crucial slide of all the slides. There's a difference. So what I generally do is the black part. I'm moving something from the pharma manufacturer, taking it to the distributor. Then from the distributor, I'm transporting it to some other hospital or maybe somebody else. But that is macro logistics. I'm moving container from Zara from US to India. I'm moving a shipment from Germany of BMW into India. That is macro logistics. Everything is very, very big. Everything is basically moving on the same pattern. I need not to actually put my heart, soul, brain into it. I mean, there is a way it will happen and it will happen. If there is a delay of 1 day, it's okay. I mean, I can say, sir, the vessel got delayed by 1 day and it will not happen. But when it comes to micro logistics, why I'm calling it micro logistics? Because every minute detail is being captured in the expected way. And who's setting up this expectation? It is either the customer or the manufacturer or the hospital. So that is very, very important. And trust me, micro logistics is basically the key if you need to serve the medical technology industry. If somebody is well versed with containers, cargo space, the calculation mechanism for a freight, trust me, it will not do any good. Somebody who's understanding the expectation of a hospital. Why do I need to deliver 3 knee implants for one operation? I need to understand that reason. So if you are able to understand, you will be able to serve your customer well. Instead of arguing with him that, sir, I don't work beyond business hours. For me, business hours are like 9 to 6. If I'm carrying a vaccine, I need to put a data logger in place. And if the data logger says there's a temperature excursion, the temperature was beyond the set limit, defined limit, I need to say sorry to my customer. And it's a failure of delivery. Simple. Whether I'm delivering it at the right time or not, it will be a failure of delivery. Because one of the expectation was to keep the temperature under control. For that, I have a data logger. So that comes under the micro logistics. So we get into the nitty-gritties, we get into the the most smallest thing of all the things. If the customer says, I'm putting a data logger, you need to send me the report by 8 p.m. every day post delivering the goods, it has to be given. It has to be given in order to plan the next day's dispatch or that night's dispatch. So wherever I failed, wherever the temperature excursion happened, wherever the delivery though was done by you, but it is a failed delivery because the temperature actually exceeded the limits defined. So I need to send the replacement of that part. So that's micro logistics. That's basically micro logistics. So it is till the time it is being utilized by the consumer or the patient in case of hospitals, it is not done for me. as long as it's consumable, it is equipment, it is equipment, it's still fine. It is still fine. 99% of the cases, you don't need timelines. But for, let's say, for blood, for your tissue replacement, like heart, like your implants, you'll surely be needing these timelines, and these strict KPIs has to be followed. So in my kind of business, the black portion I'm showing you, moving a container from one place to another, moving an air shipment from one place to another, it is, trust me, it is not a rocket science. It's a very easy game I do. So that's micro logistics. But here I need to keep eye on every single thing. Even if I'm doing my work, as per the timelines given, but if not really fulfilling all the expectation, I'm failing. And that makes medical technology more interesting. If you're a science student, if you are having some love for medical technology, uh, that makes it more interesting, because you understand the whole reason, and it will be much more easier for you to actually plan the solution, plan the delivery plan, or maybe give the delivery as per the satisfaction of the customer. So in this trade, as I told you, there are certain things which are indispensable, cannot be replaced, and I'll tell you the reason. So time is very, very important. Somebody is asking you that I need consumable of this by tomorrow, it has to be tomorrow. Okay, somebody says deliver it within 2 days, I'm sending with the gel pack. So gel pack lasts for 48 to 72 hours. If you are delivering it in 56 hours, it is useless for me, because the temperature is being maintained by that gel pack, which is attached to the shipment, or in which the shipment is actually packed. The moment it crosses 48 hours, the gel pack is useless. Why the gel pack is there? Just to keep the temperature under control. Somebody is sending you with carbon dioxide, I mean, what do you call it? Dry ice. Somebody is sending it with the dry ice, some material, and you are delivering it post the effect of dry ice goes out, it is useless. So the life cycle, I mean, the life of the product is very, very important. You can consume you can consume a rice which is like 10 years old, but you cannot consume a medicine which is like 10 years old or beyond its date of expiry. So the time is very, very important. Time is very, very important. A reagent which gives you a test for A positive blood will not give you the same result, if you are delivering it after the expiry date. So if you are sitting in some warehouse, wherein the customer is asking you, boss, you need to deliver something, seeing the expiry date, and if the expiry date is over, please discard that material. And if still you are delivering it, and let's say the patient is there for blood transfusion, he's not aware of his blood group, you need to test it, and that coagulating agent which is required for testing somebody A positive or A is not working, then there can be a possibility that they might find this as B or O, or they're kind of confused. They are not able to find which blood group is this. Then transfusion is not possible. And if done with some wrong group, then coagulation will happen. He might die. There can be a high fever. There can be a lot of other reasons. You need to understand that. So time is very, very important. And along with this, the time is linked to the life of the product. Yes, one side of this is, delivering it on time as per the expectation. But yes, you need to see the life of the product also, life cycle of a product also. So it starts on the day of manufacturing, and it dies down on the date of expiry. So during this period only it is useful. Otherwise, it can cause something wrong also. Then flexibility is very, very important. So if I go to the black portion, if I go to the last slide, if I'm doing something in the macro logistics, I'm moving a container, I can always be adamant. I can say, sir, it will take 22 days. Now it can take 23, but it cannot take 21. But in this case, I need to do it as per the requirement laid down by the supplier. If the hospital says there has to be a surgery which is to be performed today at 12 in the midnight, it has to be there before that surgery. So you have to be very, very flexible. You cannot be like, no, I'm 9 to 6. You need to be on your toes. And that actually keeps you linked to this kind of activity, this kind of job, whether you are on the customer side, whether you are there on the other side, I mean, towards logistic service provider. Then commitment is very, very important. Commitment is very, very important. We generally go overboard when it comes to our commitments to our customers, to our friends, to our family. But here, commitment has to be served because it is linked to a service level agreement. So SLA is defined for this particular, these particular deliveries and these particular supplies has to be followed and adhered. Okay, irrespective of the conditions. So I cannot say that it's raining, that is why I'm not delivering your reagents on time. They'll not be able to perform any tests. If the test will not be done on time, the patient need to suffer. The patient who's suffering can die also. So you are basically linked to a life, and your saving of that life is dependent on you. Trust me. That's very, very important. So commitment or SLA to be followed, service level agreement has to be followed. Very, very important. Sensitivity. Somebody who's shipping the goods on daily basis, expecting you to send the report of temperature and delivery every evening by 7. Why he is asking you to do that? You need to understand that. So when I'm dealing with the black portion, the macro logistics, I'm not interested. But I'm dealing with micro logistics, then I need to know this. Sir, what is the reason? What is the reason? Why you want me to actually give this report? And what if it delays? It gets delayed. So he will tell you the reason. Boss, if you are giving me the report at 7 and you are saying that the temperature exceeded the defined limit, I need to send the replacement to that particular hospital. So that sensitivity has to be there. Second, the products here are sometimes fragile, sometimes temperature sensitive, sometimes you need to store it in some manner. So that has to be followed very, very particularly. Accuracy of data is very, very important. So as I told you, crucial for planning the future. So whatever data you give is very, very important. Storage requirements. So these products at times like reagents and your replacements can ask for specific temperature, humidity levels, light. So please do consider that. So these are the prerequisite for MedTech supply chain management or maybe logistics. So coming back to my industry, what we do, the black portion, it is basically freight forwarding. So freight forwarding is we are moving the goods from one place to another through air or sea. So that's basically freight forwarding for you. And these are logistics vertical now. Then whenever we cross the borders, okay, whenever we cross the borders, international borders for that matter, like something is coming to India and something is moving out of India. So whenever you're coming into India and moving out, the way we do immigration checks at the airports, the same thing is happening for the cargo also. Same thing is happening for the cargo also. And this is being facilitated. Mark my words, underline, bold italics. These are facilitated by customs brokers. Customs brokers. So these are people, those who are having licenses. They are authorized by India government to facilitate you in terms of clearing your shipments. So who's clearing it? It's basically the permission which is being given by customs to move your goods either out of your country or bring in the goods inside your own country. So let's say if you want to send something, or let's say you are in medical technology, you want to bring in something from US into India, US will first ask why you're sending it. What is that you're sending? How much money you're earning out of it. So they'll keep the record. There you will have the custom clearance in US. then you will have the same kind of questions and clarifications to be given in India. That is, again, customs will ask all these things from you. And same way, if you are exporting something to your customers outside India, customs will have to ask for all these information, and your clearing agent, your clearing agent will help you clearing these goods. So they'll file the documentation. You will file all these information in a predefined manner, and then they will give a go-ahead green signal. In case you are exporting, some incentive is to be given to you as per government scheme, so they'll endorse it. And in case it's an inbound shipment, if it is an inbound shipment coming into India, they might ask for the customs duty also, a commonly heard term. At least if you are traveling international, there are people, enough friends and family, those who are asking to get something from duty free. So it is linked to that duty only. Then you have warehousing. We talked, I think, enough about warehousing and e-commerce. Distribution also. Distribution is basically delivering it to the final customers. So if you're booking something from Amazon, Amazon is basically asking the suppliers to keep a good amount of inventory in their warehouse. And as when Praveen is ordering something, it is coming to the to my house through the distribution partner, through the delivery partner. Packaging is also very, very important. There are specialized kind of packaging required by different industries and different people, different kind of shipments. So there are specialized people are there in our industry, those who are giving packaging solutions also. So that's another vertical. These three are a little different, and that's why they are, mentioned on a different slide. Fairs and exhibition. So I talked about the older version of exploring uh, the new buyers. So you used to travel to outside country, you used to demonstrate your product, showcase your product, used to distribute some samples free of cost so that you can get more orders, you can get bigger orders. So that's basically happens through fairs and exhibition. There's a different kind of requirement in terms of exporting these items, and they're kind of there is a kind of a different skill set which is required to manage these shipments, because once they move out, they need to return to the same country. So these are different set of people, those who are managing these activities. Then you have contract logistics. So contract logistics is generally is a portion of logistics which you want to outsource, or you have outsourced actually. So you actually get into a long-term agreement or contract with a service provider, and you say that this particular portion of my business is outsourced to you for this particular period, and these are the defined KPIs for managing this business. So that's contract logistics for you. Generally, this happens for the distribution and warehousing part of it. Then you have a big heavy shipments, like you have your MRI machines moving with big magnets. You have your X-ray machines. You have big microscopes moving. You have big equipments moving. So these are basically coming as project cargo or project logistics. Again, different people, because their requirements are different. These are odd size. These are project based. I mean, some hospital is getting is getting commissioned, and there you need 10 MRI machines. So these are basically coming as part of that particular project. So that's why you have a different name, and there are different set of people, those who are catering to the requirement of such customers. Then you have mode of transportation. So as we call it, 90% of the trade moves through ocean, 2% by air, 3% by rail, and 2% by road. Drones, the data is not available with us right now. I think that there's no data available for drones right now for deliveries. as most of the countries have not yet started with drones. But yes, the majority share moves through ocean. Whatever is critical moves via air. Whatever is urgent moves via air. Now there is a real connectivity between different countries also, within the same country also. So 3% of the total cargo moves via train and 2% via road. So you have different kind of cargo. So these are general cargo. Whatever you are able to see, I think you can see with the help of pictures only. Garments, carpets, handicrafts, auto parts, non-DG. Non-DG is non-dangerous goods. Non-dangerous goods. Okay, pharma, and then you have special cargo also, like DG item, dangerous goods. You have perishables, you have human tissues, something going for biopsy is a true example. You are moving blood also from one place to another. Then you are seeing the exhibition and the project cargo a little different, big size, odd size. Then you have life-saving drugs. Then you have wildlife moving a special cargo. So we have general cargo and we have special cargo, two divisions of the cargo, the type of cargo. Some pictures to support what I just said. I mean, we move everything. We move everything. And one of those was actually moved by me in 2008 when I moved a car to Thailand for some exhibition, defense exhibition. So you can move cars. Your Mercedes is actually coming in. This is the Mercedes logo. I hope you can see that. So it moves via air. I mean, that's why it is more expensive. It's moving via air. Your Ferrari is there. I hope this is Ferrari. Though I'm not good with determining the cars, but looks like Ferrari. This is the special equipment. You are seeing the odd dimension tires being moved, which is being utilized in the coal mining industry or the mining industry. You have those big forklifts or earth-moving equipments where you need such big trucks, tires. Sorry. So this is basically a container which is open top. So the top is not there. We call it open top. You're moving helicopters. Very recently, India imported Chinook from China, Lockheed Martin. So that also came via sea. So that's how you can actually put helicopters or whatever stuff you want to. The vaccines we recently saw, we bought Sputnik. So this is the first consignment landed in Hyderabad. Sputnik, which came imported by Dr. Reddy's, and the SpiceJet consignment, which they moved. Unfortunately, the flight is basically the jet aircraft, but the logo is there. So that's how we can figure out it's SpiceJet. So that's it from my side in terms of the presentation. Now I'm open for your questions, and in case you would like to take a break, your choice. Naresh, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Praveen-ji, for giving the more information about this area. The biomedical engineers are not that much explored in this area. So we'll see the questions. Before this, request to the Alpana-ji, how the proposed program, the MedTech logistics training program, the 44 hours duration online training program, it will be benefit to the biomedical engineers. Please share a few views.
Sorry, is that Praveen taking the question or should I address it?
Ma'am, please continue,
Okay.
ma'am. After
So,
your
yeah.
session, we will
Okay.
take the questions.
Okay, so yes, this 44-hour program that we are, we are proposing for MedTech logistics, which we call it, covers all documentation, processes by air and by ocean for this special equipment. So it, so anybody in the MedTech field or anyone who's wanting to get into logistics MedTech, students who are willing to do it, or people who are working already in MedTech will sort of help them understand the whole processes. The industry is getting into, they import a lot of equipments, a lot of medical devices, and of course, needless to say, pharma is playing a big role over here. So in understanding how these things are stored, and when they are dealing with anything to do with the import or exports of this equipment or working in the field, they will understand what are the main documents, what are the clearances that are required, what are the facilities that are available, what are the specifications that they need to do. So this is something that they will all learn. It's a short program, but it would be a very interesting and enriching program, I would say. And it covers air and ocean both, and of course the surface transportation. So that's how the movement takes place in these three different ways for any equipment or pharma.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And we'll take the questions now.
Yeah.
Chat box. The first question is by Mr. Krishna. The question is, will the completion of dedicated freight corridors affect the current logistics method? The question is, will the completion of dedicated freight corridors affect the current logistics method?
So Praveen, I think you take this question. You're muted, Praveen.
Okay, not available. We'll take another question.
Yeah.
From Sandesh Matre. I am living in Bhiwandi, Mumbai, Maharashtra. I am surrounded by this complete segment logistic park and warehouse. So how can I grab this opportunity as a business point of view?
Okay, so from the business point of view, there are, warehousing is a big industry, and especially for the equipment. So, and MedTech equipments where you can provide the various facilities like temperature controlled. You can also the specialized packing of the equipment, the specialized rules it has to follow. So can all be done over there. So in that area, where the warehousing is, you can have to run a business, you can have a specialized area of warehousing specifically for MedTech equipments and pharma, both. This is, like I said, it's a very niche area and much in demand these days.
Thank you, ma'am. And another question from the YouTube.
I just have Praveen calling me. Maybe he's logged out. Can I just take this call?
Take, ma'am. For the participants, I received a queries like, is any e-certificate will be provided? Yes, we will issue the certificate.
He's just logging in because he's the specialist in the area. So he said he, just got logged out. He's just logging in. Meanwhile, yeah.
Okay, there is one more question is there by Praveen. Please speak about import-export licenses.
So I'll wait for Praveen to. I don't want to get into an area in which I'm not familiar with. So Praveen is just logging in, and
okay.
Yeah, and also for the certification, I can say, of course, for this webinar, I'm not sure the question has to be answered by you, but otherwise for the training, this thing, we also are My Logistics Gurukul is also associated with the Logistics Skill Council. So our programs are co-branded, and certification is done in cooperation with the Logistics Skill Council, which is a government organization with the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So of course, this specific program has still not been vetted by them, but I will do my best that we would actually have a certification which comes from Logistics Skill Council and all of us together. And that is something that we can aim at doing, which is still because our 100-hour program that we have for logistics is actually who, the certification is given in jointly by the Logistics Skill Council.
Yeah, the IBSC programs,
yeah.
IBSC programs are also
And of course, yeah,
the
the IBSC.
skill development and entrepreneurship.
Right.
The training programs, and we conduct the assessments and followed with the certificates.
Right.
And one more question is related to IBSC. The question is, hello sir, what are the basic needs to become a good service engineer? What are the skills need for this? This is not related to this webinar session, but still I will answer this one. It's need a practice. We have the various varieties of equipments are there. Broadly, we can classify it as critical care, laboratory equipments, and the radiological equipments. For those who want to become a service engineer, a good service engineer, they have to take up the line, like whether it is a critical care equipment or the radiological equipment, and start the career in that. And it takes a time. For example, a X-ray service engineer. There is no training institutions are available in India. Okay, we have the training centers where by LNJs at Chandigarh location it is there, and they will give the trainings for their dealer employees only, not to the individual biomedical engineers. So for those who joined in this line, like X-ray service engineer, junior engineer, they literally work like a helping person to the seniors colleagues. Okay, they will do the on-job learning. It takes 4 years, 5 years to understand the service of the X-ray mission. So we designed one program. It's X-ray service training program. It will be really helpful to the candidates where after the training program with a practice of minimum like 3 months to 6 months of the practice, the candidate will be able to work like a 4 years or 5 years of the experienced service person. So that they will generate the revenue to their organization and it will be helpful for their good salaries. Learning, practice. Service means there is no alternative in that. The another question is, there is a question like Surendra Kumar from the Facebook. After taking the course, is there any vacancy to be filled in AMDZ logistics? Yes, definitely. As the MedTech industry is growing on, we have the companies are there, 85 companies are here. It is within the only with our AMDZ zone. And we have the such type of the zone facilities are there in other states, as well as we have the already 700 plus Indian medical device manufacturers are there already functioning at different locations like Rajkot, Gurgaon area, and even in the Hyderabad location, Bangalore location, there are already manufacturers are there. Each and every organization, they need a logistical supervisors are required, engineers are required. Any other points, ma'am, you like to add?
No, and as I think Praveen again said, he's about to log in, but still one more thing, when we work with students, my logistics Gurukul conducts trainings for students and the industry. So when we work for students, and if there are any students who are listening to us at this moment, we also provide support with placement. In fact, our courses are we are very much a part of the industry. We are not just a standalone institute. We work with the largest freight forwarder called Skyways with them. And so we try to support the industry with trained manpower. Any trainings that we do is tied up with jobs. About 70% of our students get placed, not only in Skyways, but in different logistic companies. In fact, we have even placed students in the airlines like SpiceJet and leading freight forwarders like I said, Skyways is there, Continental Carriers is there, Gina and Company is there, Rahat Continental is there. So different cargo people is there. So we place students over there also. So we also help in placements of the students. Praveen is able to join in, I think we can ask him to address this questions about imports and exports.
Yeah. Praveen ji, available?
Yeah, he's just joining in. I can see him.
There is a one question to IBSC from Shalini. What are the jobs IBSC provided for biomedical engineers? Yes, as of now, I shared that information that we have the various training programs are there. All are for the biomedical engineers only. We have the programs like hands-on training on medical equipments, focuses for the recent graduates. And those who are unemployed also, they can register for this on-campus training program. And there are upskilling programs are there, like a quality assurance program and the project management. It will helpful to upgrade their skills. Thereby, definitely, once there is a skill, they will get a job. Definitely, because it's a very large number of the companies are there, hospitals are there. They need a biomedical engineers. The lagging is the skill. IBSC is there to provide help you the candidates on providing the skill trainings. Praveen ji?
Sir, I'm there.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I would like to take that first question only to start with.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
The question is by Mr. Krishna.
okay.
The question is, will the completion of dedicated freight corridors affect the current logistic method?
Sir, it'll not really change the method of it, but of course, this will reduce the timeline. What we are generally taking nowadays is like 3 days plus for getting something from the port to North India. After the completion of freight corridor, the government is planning to reduce it to 24 to 36 hours. So the timeline will be improved in terms of you moving the goods from one place to another. Uh, Plus, the rail connectivity has been improved for moving bigger goods. So let's say if you want to move something from Chennai to Mumbai today, there is a train which runs with the container. So you can move your container on domestic routes also between Chennai, Mumbai, Mumbai, Chennai, and Chennai to Delhi. So that way, the train connectivity and the freight corridor will surely improvise the timelines and the cost, timeline and the cost. But I doubt if it changes any method for the delivery as such.
Thank you, sir. The next question is by Mr. Sandesh Matre. I am living in Bhiwandi, Mumbai, Maharashtra. I am surrounded by this complete segment, a logistic park and warehouse.
Correct.
So how can I grab this opportunity as a business point of view?
I mean, he would like to start a business.
Yeah. That is the question.
I mean, sir, as long as he's having the capital and the pocket, then he can start. I mean, it's not a rocket science. But my idea is before starting the business, yes, Bhiwandi actually is the base station for movement of lot of pharma and medtech uh, and other products also. So he need to research the market. That's very, very important. Then he need to aim for what market segment he would like to target, and if he's planning, something in healthcare. So I suggest start from a very small portion of, let's say, picking up two locations and running something between these two locations. Like generally, these companies are having some other warehouses or the distribution centers. So he can start with a small portion, then take it forward. The rest depends on the kind of investment he would like to put in.
Okay, thank you, sir. And really appreciate Mr. Sandesh to asking such question. And we biomedical engineers, if we are working for at least 2 years in some company, most of the biomedical engineers will start their company, new company. This is a general practice.
So it's everywhere now.
Engineering
It's
field.
everywhere now.
Okay. Uh, okay. And the next question is, please speak about import-export license.
So this is basically IEC and import export, you know, It's basically a certificate which you get from DGFT. So quite easy to get. I mean, if you want to export something, if you want to import something, just approach DGFT. There is a prerequisite which is there. I mean, you need to submit your MOAs, AOAs, PAN card, your Aadhaar card, your company registration, your certificate of incorporation, and then you can get a DGFT license to import, export. So that's not a big deal. But beyond this, to keep that alive and to move the shipments is the bigger task. So as long as the documentation process is there, uh, it has been quite. It can be done very easily. I mean, in today's world. But she or he need to first decide whether they are trying to get into import or export or something. Then it's up to them. So they just need to approach DGFT, Director General of Foreign Trade, and they can easily get it basis some company documents.
Next question is a general question by Hussein. Ma'am, how to improve the knowledge related to BME without any institute? It's a general question. I will address this one. Without any investment or without any institution, I don't think so we can get the skills. Those days are gone. To work in some organization and getting years of experience, say 10, 15 years of experience and becoming a master, those days are gone. So these days, at least a 10% or 5 to 10% of their revenue should be invested on improving their skills. We see that many institutions like IIMs, the working professionals are enrolling to that programs to upgrade their skills. For all related to the biomedical engineering programs, whether it is recent graduates or we have the programs in the quality assurance. The last batch, we have the 22 candidates were sponsored from the Sajanand Medical Technologies from Surat. The survey, the quality assurance head himself, the 28 years of experience in that line, the quality assurance, he enrolled into our IBSC training program. So need to invest yourself, your time and the money to upgrade yourself. That is the only the solution. There is no alternative. And to the next question by Murthy, the question is, can you please elaborate on cold chain, how you manage currently with the different locations on time? What are the challenges currently in the market in cold chain logistics?
So this is to me, sir, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, sir, if you really see, cold chain is not that difficult now. It is basically the infra, which is quite difficult to get. Rest, everything is defined by your customer. So if my customer says set it up in Bhiwandi, set it up in Chennai, uh, I need to really see whether it is worth spending on the infra or should I go on to some shared facility. So generally, these companies, cold chain companies, they have defined their infrastructures. I mean, somewhere in, let's say, Chennai, Bhiwandi, North India, Delhi, Gurgaon, they predefine it, and they'll push the customer to keep the material in the same facility because it is all the time not possible to develop an infra as per the customer's requirement until and unless you are getting into a very long-term contract and wherein the customer is ready to invest in that kind of facility. So it is very simple. The only challenge you face is apart from infra is basically the vehicles. Uh, Sometime it is difficult to get vehicles for moving cold chain stuff. Uh, Temperature maintenance is one of the big criterias. Along with that, you need to have very sensitive people working in the operations for these facilities, for these vehicles, wherever there is a breakdown, where there is a temperature excursion. Uh, the people should be sensitive enough to report this on time. So cold chain, there is no challenge, absolutely no challenge. The infra is the biggest critical aspect. After that, the vehicles, the people, and the expectations you get from the customers.
Thank you, sir. The next question is by Mr. Praveen. Can you give all details about logistic business for beginners and suitable path to make a career in it?
I
Again,
mean,
please.
we all have few examples in front of you, madam, and myself. We all are true examples. I mean, I'm a science grad with some 60% from Delhi University. I made my career. I've been serving in different companies for the last 18, 19 years. I mean, there was no specialization as such. I was just BC honors. After that, I did my MBA and serving in this trade. And trust me, MBA is also not a requirement. You need to have that passion in terms of, you need to connect with your customers. You need to know you should have that, skill in you to actually get into the depth of everything. So if you have that, and if you can work with little flexible hours, if you are more interested in keeping your customer happy, actually, supplying to or maybe serving different supply chains, you are the right fit for this trade. There are people, those who started their careers after their school, just after schools, did their graduation while working with us, and they are successful today. I mean, as long as you are ready to grab the opportunity which will come, and the opportunity will definitely come in this trade. You are the right fit. You are the right fit for the trade. You need right amount of aggression at the right place. Uh, the the knack of serving the customer has to be there. So you can. I mean, learning should never stop, and the learning will never stop here. We like after serving for 18, 19 years, we still learn a lot of new things in today's world. Ma'am,
Yeah.
anything you would like to add?
Yeah, so again, well said, Praveen. If you have, you said, passion, aggression, these are, and I think this is one of the single industries where you can literally work at your own will. You want to work 24 by 7, you can work 24 by 7. You want to work night, you can work night. You want to work day. And the background that you have, if you are a science student, if you're an arts student, if you're a commerce student, there would be some role that you could fit in. And wherever you start, you can graduate to much bigger things. But yes, be willing to think out of the box, to work out of the regular 9:30 to 5:30 routine. There are people who do that also. Whether it is a girl or a boy, there are enough opportunities for women. There are enough opportunities for girls to do, to work on regular office jobs, to do back office jobs, to be in customer service, to be in sales. In fact, from the students that I have and the employers that I connect with, mostly at the end of the course, they ask me, how many women do you have? How many girls? We want, especially customer service, we want the girls to do it. Maybe they sound better or they can handle irate customers much better. So there is, like I said, there's a place for everybody. Be willing to work in a different way. You want to travel, you want to do operations, you want to do sales, lots of opportunities, I would say. And earlier it was people worked without any trainings, but yes, now with multinationals coming, with technology coming, I think training is a must, and that's what we are doing, at least getting people 70% job ready to join the industry.
I mean, one thing I'll give you before I end the answer of this question. I hired a person who used to run a grocery store. He was a graduate. He used to run a grocery store, and today he's doing well. I hired a waiter from a five-star hotel, and he's doing, very great. He's outside India. I mean, that's how it is. I mean, there is nothing apart from your passion, aggression, and the attitude which is required in this trade.
Yeah. And we received a reply message from the Murthy ji regarding the cold chain. He says that thanks for info on cold chain logistics, infra on a last mile, sensitive of a people on reporting, customize, offering, we are a startup from Bangalore. We would want to connect with Praveen and Alpana. Please reach out at so email. And thanks AMDZ for organizing the wonderful session. This is the reply from Motiji. And moving on to the next question is by Miss Priyanka and Miss Pallavi Mishra from YouTube. The question is the same. Miss Priyanka question is how much investment is needed for starting a logistic business? And the same question is there by Pallavi Mishra that what is the minimum investment and specific infrastructure requirements? Both are same questions by two different participants.
So any investment is less. Any investment is less. It depends on the kind of scale you want to do it. So I have a friend. She's doing it, this business, for last 10 years with no investment. So when I say no investment, she's basically picking shipments, giving it to somebody, and managing it this way. So, I mean, for logistics, if you really want to grow as a big organization, big scale requirement is required. Big scale investment is required. If you want to confine yourself within, let's say, one customer between Delhi, Mumbai, you can run it with limited amount also. So it depends on the kind of scope of activity you have in hand. If it is very big, like serving, serving as a maintenance engineer for an airline, having one aircraft, it's very easy. Whenever they'll be coming to Delhi, I can go and repair that aircraft and do the servicing of the aircraft. But let's say when it comes to serving a company like SpiceJet, multiple location, multiple jets, multiple types of flights, and multiple units. So it becomes really difficult. So I need more people. I need more investment. I need to have infra in place. So it depends on your this thing. I mean, it is not that easy. I'll be honest with you. One side I'm saying it's very easy. You can start, but it is also not so easy. I mean, people will check your reputation. People will understand, how much you know about the business. That's very, very important. I mean, it is not like running a grocery store from day one. You need to actually make yourself first aware of the industry, and number two, you need to actually leave a mark in front of the customer that why he should consider you, or why she should consider you as the business partner, as a service provider. Because I told you, healthcare, if I specifically talk, it is with reliability only. Because I'll not give it to somebody who's not sure about what he can do or he cannot. And when it comes to general cargo also, I want my money, because it's a shipment. It's something which is worth crore of rupees. So I'll not give it to somebody who's not aware, who's not known to me, who's not having the knowledge enough. So that's very, very important. So your investment is proportional to the size, and your size and your starting up is proportional to the kind of know-how of the industry you have.
That's it. There is no more questions. The chat box as well as in the Facebook. There is one question is there by Pallavi Mishra, how to enroll for MedTech logistic program and start a career in it. To all participants, those who are interested in this live, please visit to the IBSC website. We have advertised the program details, MedTech logistics. Please register yourself. The program will be starting from the 15th October. And it's a 44 hours duration online training program. We will share the details. Complete details are available on the website. Yeah. Thank you to the speakers for giving your time and answering all the questions. And thank you to the participants for joining the session. The session is complete. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any further questions, you can actually write to AMTZ, and we can answer them for you if you have any afterthoughts and you'd like to know some more things.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, everyone. Thank you, Naresh. Bye,
Yeah.
Praveen. Thank you.
Thank you.